This is Tacoincidence, an unconventional masterclass where we learn secrets of breakthrough culture, brand experience, and human connection from the most brilliant leaders, all while we're on the search for the perfect taco. I met up with Ravi Patel on Taco Tuesday at Guisados in Burbank, California. He's an entrepreneur, investor, and co-founder of the granola bar company This Saves Lives. He's also an award-winning actor who wrote and directed an autobiographical documentary called Meet the Patels. I wanted to learn why he believes in the power of culture and brand experience, what he does to create it, and how it's helped him thrive. All over tacos. It really doesn't get much better than this. Let's do, how do you feel about steak? Either one of those steak options?
Passionate about it. Yeah.
Very strongly, very strongly. Let's do, yeah. Let's do two of each, that's six.
Two of each, because I'd like us to eat the same taco at the same time and be like,
That's what we got. Let's do this. This is a good start.
Cannot wait to eat.
It's so
I've been
good.
doing the intermittent fasting.
Oh, yeah?
You know about that.
Oh, yeah.
So hot
Do you
right
like
now.
it?
I love it. I've lost 15 pounds in like 2 months of doing it.
Yeah?
I'm extending my window right now. Yeah. Whatever. It's okay. This is worth it. For a good taco and
You
good
know,
conversation.
it's Taco Tuesday.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like
Taco
Taco
Tuesday,
YOLO,
You
right?
can expect the YOLO. Exactly.
When you normally come here, what is it that you get? Do you
To
know?
Guisados?
Yeah. Because I'm
I've
concerned
just
that
gotten
you just
tacos
haven't
because I
had
didn't
the
get the
quesadilla.
Well,
I
I
hope
think
you
that's
like
why
it.
it's important to have friends like you, because this is what you get out of a high functioning society is, you find out about the quesadilla.
Dude, if that's the only value that I add to your life, I can die happy
This is
now.
a good contribution.
Exactly. I know that you're really hungry.
Yeah, I'm
and
starving.
I'm like salivating just
Yeah.
thinking about. It's like seriously. I think when I'm not in LA, I think about this quesadilla.
Do you really?
Oh, absolutely.
Here you have your 2 steak picados, your 2 cochita pibil, and your 2 pastel en salsa roja.
Thank
you so much.
Oh my gosh.
This looks amazing.
Thank you. Okay, so this is especially good with the green sauce. Do you like spice? Yeah.
I love yeah.
Okay, yeah. So do the green sauce. This is habanero, but the green sauce on this. Oh, and this just looks like perfection. Oh, you're
Here we go.
probably gonna need more green sauce than that.
Okay, but I just need a bite because I
just
can't
start
wait anymore.
No, just get going. Get going.
Oh yeah. The green sauce is good. You're right. That added the right layer. Should we get a napkin?
Oh, salty.
Yeah. This is great.
Yeah. Pour that stuff on.
Oh my God. This is so good. What makes a great taco?
Well, first of all, love, number one ingredient.
You can't taste well.
Oh yeah.
Shut up.
Of course. Of course you can, man.
Okay. What else? How do you know? I mean, is it just...
Homemade tortillas.
I could eat 10 of these.
Easy. How is that, by the way? It's like disappearing. That's weird. Do you like lime?
I love lime.
I kind of maybe want to put lime on that last bite.
Really?
Yeah.
You were right.
Yep.
How did you know? It's genius. I'm not lying.
Lime makes everything better. What's your favorite one? Aside from the quesadilla, of the three.
The last one that we just ate was my favorite. The one that you're chewing
The
right
pork?
now? Yeah.
So
What about you?
I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's the cochinita, the pork one. They
Pork always tastes better.
Oh, I am so glad. You know what?
Especially
I thought.
Mexican food.
Oh, I thought. I'm just so grateful that pigs were made, and that they taste so good.
Because you would look at it and
You don't
you'd be
see it
like,
coming. Yeah.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
You're like, there's no way that that's going to taste good.
No, they're a gross animal.
Yeah.
They're disgusting.
And yet
animals.
they are so delicious.
Delicious.
Man, while we're dreaming about the next quesadilla,
Yeah.
fill me in. Like,
What have I been up
I'm
to?
so, like, what have you been up to? What are you most excited about right now? Or, I mean, you always have your hands in a lot of different pots.
Wait, so first of all, we should talk about how we met,
Let's go there.
which was, I'm going to guess, 5,
Probably 6 years ago.
I had just started This Bar Saves Lives.
Yeah.
Was running it out of my condo in Venice. And I would wake up every day to like me and my 2 other actor buddies who I started the company with, our 1 paid employee, and our 10 interns, which was a giant mistake. It's basically like babysitting, and I'm like giving them weird art projects to do every day. Yeah, and I don't know where I was flying, but we met at,
The airport. I think it was Terminal 5.
yeah, because it was at the Lemonade.
Lemonade.
And you gave me your card, you said, you're looking for good snacks at my company.
Well, I remember seeing you. We were sitting relatively close, and
And I think I was considering investing in that company as
I
well.
believe so. Yeah. And you're
Which
like,
I
"Oh,
wish
you're
I
at-"
had.
You're like, oh, you're at Surf Air? So, yeah, I remember, for some reason, I remember seeing the granola. Maybe you had them out or something. And I was like, what? I'm like, tell me about that. Like, we're looking for
Yeah.
unique local snacks
Right.
to feature.
Yeah.
We're launching, and you're like, hey, we're just launching too. And
Did we ever do a deal or anything?
I don't know if we did.
I don't know that we did.
There was some, I don't remember the details.
It was a price thing, remember? Which is always a deal.
But also, I mean, you were pretty early stage with This Bar Saves Lives.
Early stage, our bars were
So-
really overpriced, and you know exactly what
Delicious.
you experienced. Thanks, yeah. But yeah, I mean exactly what you experience when you start a food brand. You don't have scale, but everything's more expensive.
Yeah, totally.
We started the company based on the mission of helping to alleviate severe acute malnutrition, which, you know, my 2 co-founders, they went to Africa, they saw starvation firsthand, they learned that 20 million kids under the age of 6 suffer from severe acute malnutrition. A child dies every 10 seconds. So it started off as just like a bunch of dumb actors who don't know anything about granola bars, having this idea of 1 for 1 every time you buy a granola bar,
Passion.
we donate a meal packet to a child in need. And it's premised on this meal packet, the 60 minutes it showcased, that is prescribed to kids who are days away from potential death. They take just this packet for 8 to 10 weeks. So when we jumped into the granola bar business, we didn't know what we were doing. We had no experience.
Wow.
We had met, like, through friends of friends, people in the food business who eventually introduced us to food scientists who ended up actually really knowing what they were doing. Thank God. And we'd sit around at Whole Foods taking a bite out of like hundreds of bars and being like, I like this one. You like this one? Yeah, this is good. Okay, let's do it. And we're just like this, like it was crazy. And
Yeah.
like, you know, those guys were cooking them in their kitchens, and that was when I met you. We had just launched it.
Yeah.
And since then, so obviously, I make my living probably 75% as an actor. The other 25% is entrepreneurship, and then also writing, directing, and producing, which I'm doing more and more of now. So since that time, This Bar Saves Lives, we launched, I want to say in 2012 or 13. About a year or so after that, maybe a year and a half after that, I had a documentary come out that did really well called Meet the Patels.
Yeah.
It's on Netflix. And then
Hilarious.
I was on a show on Fox at that time. I had a show that I was in called Master of None that did really well. So it was like this really, it was serendipitous in the sense it's like just great when good things happen.
Yeah, of
But it
course.
also was a really stressful, exhausting time because I
Yeah.
had too much happening. I remember when the movie came out, Master of None had come out, and the show on Fox came out, all within the same month. So, and we had launched, and This Bar Saves Lives started kind of doing really well.
Yeah.
And I would filming, and in between scenes, I'm like doing interviews, like getting on planes. And I was going on planes for things related to the movie, like 7 cities a weekend at times. Like it was that kind of busyness.
Crazy, head spinning.
Yeah, and so, to answer your question of like, what am I up to? What happened was, I got married, I had a kid, and at the end of last year, I kind of bottomed out.
Okay.
Like I realized I was just exhausted, and I was overworked, and it affected my marriage, it affected my ability to be a dad, and I just, despite a lot of kind of outside success on paper, I was really unhappy, and I realized that I didn't even remember all that stuff that I had gone through. And so now I'm at a place where I'm just trying to do more work-life balance, and I'm still doing a lot of things, but I'm doing them in less time and more structure. So I don't work on weekends, which is the first time I've done that in maybe 5 or 6 years. But I'm writing a movie for Fox Searchlight based on the documentary that I'll also direct with my sister and I'll star in. I have a TV series at Netflix India that I am writing and I'll co-star in. I'm doing some docu-series stuff as a producer and on-camera talent. And then I got a couple big movies coming out next year as an actor.
Wow.
So that's kind of what I'm up to. And I still have This Bar Saves Lives.
This is still going on.
Every day I was answering emails and texts related to it as I was walking.
As you're walking in.
100%. When I say like bottoming out, it was like it was me realizing, first of all, becoming a dad, you can't help but wonder, think about what you want your life to be about. It forces you to realign your purpose. In my case, I think I'm very much a product of our generation, which is one that kind of like is obsessed with achievement and optimization. For all purposes, most of us in cities, have kind of workaholic mindsets. And I was not indifferent from so many of my friends where I attached a great deal of my self-esteem to my professional accomplishments. And, now I'm just in a place where I'm realizing that like what really matters is having a good day every day and just being happy and remembering what happened that day.
Yeah.
So I did all these dope things the last 5 years. I don't remember what happened, so what's the point?
Yeah.
And now I'm like, and when you make your life about that purpose, you actually imbue that into your work in a different way.
Well, that's awesome, man. That's just super exciting. It
Yeah.
sounds like so many things are falling into place. You've got like vision, purpose, balance.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't like nailed it yet. I mean, yeah, man, I feel optimistic and hopeful, and more importantly, like I'm just enjoying my time, which is
awesome.
Great.
Well, and it's important to do that as a leader in whatever capacity you're doing. Like whether it's This Part Saves Lives, you're leading your family, you're leading, your acting career, you're leading, you're directing. Yeah. You're the CEO of a film.
Yeah.
It's all of those things are, everyone follows the lead.
Yeah.
And that's amazing.
They're art and entrepreneurship are both entrepreneurial endeavors. You didn't start a churro company because you wanted a lot of money. A lot of money's great.
Sure.
But if you wanted a lot of money, you'd go try to work your way up some sort of blue chip company.
Sure.
The risk in a startup, like the expected value financially is never a ton of money. It's a lottery ticket. You're doing it because of something inside you that is the exact same reason people pursue art. It's about purpose. It's about passion, inspiration. And if you're going to do that, like I found this as an actor. I've quit acting, I think, twice in the last 12 years. And it's whenever I figured out that I was just doing it for the money. And I wasn't enjoying my work. Because art and entrepreneurship, when you're not being authentic to your purpose in pursuing those things, I think it feels like a greater betrayal than say if you're an accountant and you didn't enjoy accounting, no offense to accountants, but I think to be successful in these pursuits, it has to come from inside.
Yeah.
But the irony of those pursuits is that the likelihood of the binary zero, like success or failure, is failure. The only real thing that makes it worthwhile is the experience. So you have to find a way to be obsessed with winning while at the same time being totally cool with losing and just being excited that you get to play this game every day. And that's the trick. Yeah. That's the trick. Whenever I mentor people, I tell them, find a way to love it every day. The grind has to be, you have to find a way to love the grind.
Yeah, because otherwise it's gonna crush you.
No.
Because there's no and so I love that, and I think that it's so applicable to anyone in any sort of business endeavor, and especially those that may have entrepreneurial aspirations.
Yeah.
It's like there's something alluring about following your passion, creating your authentic contribution, and what you think you can do with life, and whether that's granola bars or churros or tacos or whatever it is that you're doing it with passion and with grit. Tell me how does all of that passion for what you're doing, whether it's granola bars or movies or documentaries or any of these endeavors that you're involved in, how does that passion translate into a vision of the experience that you are trying to create for the end consumer? That's either eating that, or experiencing the movie, experiencing the stuff before the movie starts, like experiencing you and your vision. And how does all of that translate for you?
So, truthfully, I think I just have a good sense of what people are into.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that I have some sort of pixie dust to put on, but when at the very, Meet the Patels took 5.5 years to make, and at the onset, the idea was, I want to make a documentary that feels like a narrative romantic comedy. It's going to have all these cool elements in it. That's what's going to be great about it, is people who don't watch documentaries are going to enjoy this. Even if they don't care about Indians, they're going to enjoy this. And so I had an inkling that would be interesting and novel to people. I feel like I know what people like, and I personally am super opinionated. I have very strong tastes. I get really excited about everything. I'm going to talk about these tacos all day tomorrow.
As you should.
I'm going to probably look up how to make my own tortillas. I will go home and try to make them. So all of that, essentially, and I think I'm also lucky because of what I do on the art side, because marketing and art, they're all about empathy.
Yeah.
So
what does that look like? So how does that empathy play into marketing something like? I mean, I'd love to see. I love how you're combining art and entrepreneurship, because I think that there are so many interesting crossovers. There's so many interesting intersections and interactions between the mindset of the approach, and so it's super fascinating to me that we can talk about a granola bar company in the same sentence and in the same breath that you're talking about documentaries that are moving and romantic comedies that are hilarious and entertaining. It's so cool to me. And I love this idea of empathy being a part of that. So how does that play
from
in?
A branding perspective? Marketing doesn't convince people to commit to a product. All marketing does is it creates the opportunity to get the product in their hands, in this case in their mouth. But you're only as good as your product in the long term.
Totally.
You agree with that, right?
Oh,
Everyone agrees
100%.
with that, right?
It's the fundamentals.
Right?
So maybe let's dive into This Bar Saves Lives a little
Sure.
bit. So the product has to be great. The fundamentals.
Yeah, so the way we backed into it, we're like, okay, social enterprise, this idea of for-profit companies that do philanthropy,
Right.
when they're really
Give back.
buzzing, the philanthropy is actually meant to be kind of a marketing line item. The idea being that if you do this good thing, in earnest, by the way, a lot of companies in this kind of space don't do it in earnest.
Right.
To really succeed in the long term, I think it's pretty impossible to do it unless you do it in earnest.
Right.
But if you do it well and you do it right, eventually what you give should come back to you. It should be something you do instead of getting a billboard. And in our case, I think we did that by creating, I guess, a branding ecosystem around the philanthropy. Our mission helped us, we thought, okay, this is not just going to be, first off, we're going to make these bars really delicious. We're going to make them something that we all would want to eat every day. Incredible ingredients, better ingredients than other people, hopefully. Starts there. You have to want to be able to put this in your mouth. But then, let's make the packaging sexy. How can we make this packaging not look like the packaging that you see on granola bars? So we started we would sit down and we'd look at like Apple and, we'd look at fashion companies and we're like, how can this be something that just looks like a cool thing to have in your hand?
Yeah.
And the title, This Bar Saves Lives, it's provocative. It's certainly not a delicious title. It's kind of antithetical to what a food
Totally.
brand should be.
Yeah.
And we also knew, okay, like if we create a delicious enough product and a sexy enough brand, then we can turn to celebrities who we know and we can say, hey, you need to get on board with this because it's really sexy. And so we're going to help your brand out by you getting involved with our brand. And we were very successful at that. So those people invested in our company. It's not like they just joined it for free.
Yeah.
These people were paying money to be a part of this club because they loved they thought this thing was really sexy. They loved our bars, and they were so excited to do our mission.
Yeah.
And when you're able to do that, that leads to loud voices, and those are people who genuinely believe in the product. That amplifies exponentially.
Yeah. So how do you guys involve people in your mission? Like obviously they feel
Consumers?
good. Yeah. And or even the people that that the celebrities that you've involved in the company too. Like how is it part of
It starts on the
experience?
inside. So it starts on the inside. And we hire people who genuinely care. Pretty picky about hiring. It's people who are like really passionate about not just saving lives, but giving and being a part of a community that gives. Because what you build on the inside works its way out, truly.
Absolutely.
Because when you care like that on the inside, that's when people have these creative ideas during their passive moments. As opposed to saying, hey, employee, we need an idea for this thing.
Yeah.
If you're only relying on that, you're not going to get half as many amazing ideas as if they really care. Like I, as a writer, I get my best ideas when I'm playing basketball or sitting out at the beach.
Right.
Right? I mean, we all know that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Creativity is born in passivity.
Yeah.
Right? Obviously, messaging is a big part of it. When we first started the company, it started very basically like, on the homepage, at the bottom, there's going to be a ticker that's updated daily. It says how many meal packets we've donated as a result of this company.
Yeah.
Then we started expanding it wider to every 3 months. Every quarter, we release a quarterly giving report.
Oh, cool.
And that tells you a lot about what the impact has been of This Bar Saves Lives. And now we try to do even more stuff. We have kind of a broader social media presence. We do contests with consumers. We do an annual giving trip with our company and a bunch of our investors and celebrities, whatever else. Where people are actually, boots on the ground,
So cool.
getting to feel the impact
Yeah.
of their work, and now we're planning similar things with consumers.
So this is, it's interesting to me as I've met with other leaders of different companies, from bikes to soda to pest control to granola bars. Like what's interesting to me in all of these discussions and conversations is that whatever it is the vehicle, but it doesn't matter what it is. Meaning, like in your case, it doesn't matter that this is a granola bar. In their case, it doesn't matter. I mean, we're grateful that it's an amazing granola bar and grateful that they're amazing tacos. But ultimately, what I've seen in as the commonality here is that people are really looking to make a difference, to change the world, to use the word that you said earlier, to be empathetic, like understand, to connect in meaningful ways. Like,
You think that's why people care about tacos?
Oh, that's why I care about tacos.
You like the community around tacos.
There's a community around it. But of course the tacos, I mean, like you said, the fundamentals have to be there, right?
Yeah. I buy that. I mean, I think especially these days more than ever, because community is a precious commodity.
Yeah.
So people have to seek community, seek identity. And so people wear their beliefs, people wear their food and their taste, because it's all an attempt to be a part of something bigger than yourself.
Right.
Yeah, I buy that.
So how does all of this mentality translate to a movie? So like, so you're directing a movie,
Yeah.
and writing a movie,
Yeah.
multiple,
Yeah.
either series, movies,
Yeah.
documentaries.
Yeah.
So you got lots going on.
Yeah, yeah.
When you're doing what you're doing,
Uh-huh.
how are you thinking about the end consumer's experience with whatever
Yeah.
you're doing?
So
Whether it's funny,
so-
it's moving, it's
Yeah.
whatever, like the genre
Yeah.
is that you're attacking it.
Yeah.
How does that come into play as you're
So
like
as
crafting everything?
as a writer-director, I'm essentially wearing all the hats of all these endeavors at the same time. So on the one hand, the actor in me is trying to be the writer, trying to be the director, trying to be the person reading the script, trying to be the person going to the theater to watch it, trying to be each of the characters within the movie. So it helps me to be an actor in that situation. I literally write scenes by acting. Like, I look like a crazy person if you see me. I'm sitting there acting all the parts and improvising them, and that's how I write a scene. The entrepreneur in me is all of a sudden looking at, okay, what's the market?
Who's buying this? Who's coming to see this?
What's the opportunity? What's the differentiator? What are the various opportunity costs? Where's the most ROI? I think about all that stuff.
Yeah.
I think about that when I made Meet the Patels. I was the only person who thought that it would do what it did, because, I mean, I'm admitting it here, but I've not admitted it in other interviews because that sounds capitalistic or whatever, or opportunistic. But I think like that, and it helps.
Yeah.
It helps to be able to think of like, oh, this would be a good place to end up here, and then to be able to back into a creative process that goes inside out, leading to that.
That guides to the
Yeah, like, because I spoke that language, I was able to effectively sell that point, or even have that idea in the first place.
Yeah.
So I think it helps me.
That's so cool.
Yeah, yeah.
So what about one of those? Walk me through that process for one of the projects that you're working on, from the directing perspective. So what did you want people to experience with Meet the Patels? Like when I'm going to watch it, what did you want to evoke in me as a viewer?
I wanted people to be captivated and to be having fun.
Yeah.
I would say the word fun over and over again, because documentaries generally aren't fun.
Sure. Yeah.
Usually it requires some pre-existing degree of interest
Sure.
or attachment to what's there.
Yeah.
you know, with ours, I was like, I want to make a movie that people who don't watch documentaries want to watch, and they're just having the time of their lives, and by the end of it, they learned something, they felt something, but they didn't mean to.
Right.
And to trick people into that experience through entertainment was a very conscious goal of ours. My sister and I made it together.
Yeah.
So, you know, it was the idea of like, let's get as creative as possible in the storytelling and pull from some of our favorite storytellers. Keep in mind, I hadn't gone to film school. I'd never written anything before. I never directed anything before. So this ended up being my film school, and it started with, what are the things we like, and let's rip them off. So which I think is true in business, right?
Totally.
So we started by just ripping off the people that we love. And in doing that, we learned how to do this thing, and we watched a ton of documentaries, a ton of romantic comedies. This is the idea. We wanted to make not just a documentary, but take the narrative romantic comedies genre and throw it on top of the documentary.
Yeah. What one thing would you suggest to any business leader, any leader at all, actually, anyone that has any sort of brand influence? What one thing that would you suggest that they could do, like immediately, to create an experience that's maybe a little bit more empathetic, maybe a little bit more focused, like to keep that focus? Like,
what's the number one marketing gem? Like, what's the marketing dime I can drop right now? That's what you're asking.
Yeah. Because I think a lot of leaders want to create something that's awesome.
Yeah.
And want to like dial it up, but maybe they're worried that it's going to cost too much. It's going to be too much effort. Like you even said, it is a lot of effort.
Yeah.
It is too much sometimes.
Yeah.
So, but why do you still move forward? Like, what is it that they could do to even just like improve it, just 1%?
I think we live in a time where you have to have something that's noisy, and that's not the best. Like, I don't know that a business school or any PR company would advise me to say that, but
I love it.
We live in a time where if you really want to get someone's attention, you have to figure out a way to do it noisy, because there's just more noise than there's ever been. And you have to make sure that whatever that noise is authentic. That's differentiation, is what I'm talking about. So I think that's the number one thing. And whether you're doing that from a product perspective or from a marketing perspective, that's, in my opinion, the only way. The whole concept of cream rising to the top is insanely difficult to do in these times right now without a ton of money or an absence of a product in light of a huge demand for it. Like, the only way cream can rise to the top is if it's like a brand new sexy thing that no one's seen before. Like, sure, then that works. If it's incredibly novel, like Warby Parker, that's gonna catch fire. You're selling $500 glasses for $100. Yeah, that's gonna catch fire. But in that case, that's their differentiator. So, yeah, I think try to come up with a way to do it in a way that nobody else is doing it, and then make sure that once you do get their attention, that the thing you have is not only different, but something that they want over and over and over again. I would also say always surround yourself with smarter people and find a way to create a structure around them helping you be smarter. But if you surround yourself with experience and people you trust, people who are passionate, that's gonna help give you the juice you need to make better decisions.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel so gross.
Ravi,
I ate too many tacos.
you did?
Too much cheese. 2 quesadillas is too many. All right. This is fun, dude.
So awesome.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Special thanks to our host Guisados for creating the ideal place for us to talk about breakthrough culture, brand experience, and human connection. It's the best to see them make those fresh corn tortillas, whether it's that mini taco sampler or straight up tacos. But a moment of silence, please, for that quesadilla with chorizo. Amazing. I absolutely must have this every time I'm in LA. Join the taco journey on my website. You are not going to want to miss out on the resources, courses, and of course the National Taco Tour I'm planning when I launch the book, Search for the Perfect Taco. So follow me on social media, subscribe to my channel, and tune in to another episode of Tacoincidence, where we'll continue to explore the secrets to level up your culture, brand experience, human connection, and your taco game. Okay, just throwing this in here. El Pilon.
I just think it's so dang good with that green salsa, man.
Yeah.
That last bite.
They could never put these in a buffet. Because everyone would just overeat.
Yeah.
You get sick.
Man.